All right, Act 3, here we go.
Wait.
Okay, let's take it out. Get ourselves settled. I put today's schedule on the board up there. So we can kind of keep track.
The vector projection on the ground.
I think I hit record. I said I hit record, right? Let me double check. There's a class. Yeah, 3 hours.
I'm reading.
Did you get that? Did you take that? All right, here we go. Act 3. Othello.
1219.
Okay. So, super quick recap. Act 2 ended with the firing of Michael Cassio because he picked a fight, or well, Rodrigo picked a fight with Michael Cassio because Iago told him to do it. And as a result, Cassio has gotten fired. And that's kind of how we left things with the end of Act 3. Rodrigo seems to be getting kind of discouraged that he's almost out of money and that there doesn't really seem to be any hope in sight. He just got beat up by Michael Cassio, and he really doesn't have anything to show for it, any good, anything that he can see, any reasons why he did that or how that's going to help him in any way. Othello kind of just tells him to be patient. We don't know what his ultimate plan is for Rodrigo. Obviously, he's stringing him along for months. That's how that kind of settled out. All right, so now we're back to Act 3. We're on page 1219, bottom of the first column, and we're gonna need a clown. You want to be clown? I'll do it. Okay, and then we're gonna need musician 1, but there's no musician 2, so I want. Okay. All right. Go ahead, Cassio.
Master's play here. I will content your pain. Something that did tomorrow than general.
My master, have your instruments been enabled so they speak in the known dust?
All right, so there's a lot of puns that happen with clowns. Clowns are sometimes the hardest ones to understand because we don't understand their humor of the time. Lots of puns, lots of references to things that maybe we don't get. So apparently that's a reference to the smell of syphilis that happens. Right, you have to look down at the bottom, right? Sound like a man whose nose has been affected by syphilis. Okay, a disease supposed to have originated in Naples. There you go.
A clown is
The clown is saying that they sound like they have been. A musician is so bad at playing that it sounds like they've been at Naples. Sounds like they have syphilis. All right, musician 1.
Are these, I pray you, wind instruments?
Hi, Mary, are they?
Oh, thereby hangs a tale.
Thereby hangs.
Marry, sir, by many wind instruments that I know, my master, here's money for you. And the general so likes your music that he desires you for love's sake to make no more noise with it.
It's kind of a sassy insult, right?
Oh, sir, we will not. If you have any music that may not be heard,
Do it again.
do it again. But as they say, to hear music, the general does not greatly care.
Right, so it's a little bit of comic relief after the super dark and heavy scene with Michael Cassio getting fired.
And put your pipes in your bag, for all away. Go, vanish into air, away.
Let's stop here. My honest friend.
No, I hear not your honest friend, I hear you.
Prithee, keep up thy quillers. Says to your
See,
quillers. There's a poor piece of gold for thee. If the gentlewoman that attends the general's wife is stirring, tell her there's one Cassio and treats her a little favor. Wilt thou do this?
She is stirring, sir. If she will stir hither, I shall seek to notify unto her.
Do good, my friend.
all right, here comes Iago.
In happy time, Iago. You have not been at thy back? Why, no, the day had broke before we parted. I have made bold, Iago, to send into your wife. My suit to her is that she will to virtuous Desdemona procure me some access.
Right, so Cassio is gonna try to beg Amelia to get him access to Desdemona. She can beg to Othello to reinstate him. He's gotta get back in Othello's good graces. The only way to do that is to convince Desdemona.
I'll send her to you presently, and I'll devise a means furthermore out of the way, that your converse business may be done.
Right, so he's all about giving Michael Cassio and Desdemona some private time, which really won't be private time, because he'll make sure Othello overlooks it, because he wants him to get jealous.
I humbly thank you for it. I never knew a Florentine more kind and honest.
Right, so I don't know what Iago has been doing his entire adult life, that he's got this kind of reputation, being so honest that nobody would ever question him, nobody would ever doubt anything that he's doing. Because if we're seeing what he really is like, he is like a pathological, horrible person, right? But nobody seems to know that. Everybody's like, oh, he's honest Iago, right? So he's either had a sudden change of heart and turned evil, or he's just really good at fooling everybody and always has been. All right, so here comes Amelia. This is Iago's wife.
Good morrow, good lieutenant. I'm sorry for your displeasure, but all will sure be well. The general and his wife are taking another. She speaks pretty softly. The more replies that you heard is of great things like this, and great affinity. And that in wholesome wisdom might not refuse you, because he loves you and needs no other suitor but his life. Take the safest occasion by the front to bring you in that.
All right, so he basically, maybe it's not quite so bad for you as what it seemed, but you did hurt the governor. And so he, for political reasons, Othello has to take a stand and have fired you. But maybe there's some hope. That's what her message is to him.
Yeah, I beseech you, if you think fit, or that it may be done, give me the advantage of some brief discourse with Desdemona alone.
Pray you come in. I'll bestow you where you shall have time. Speak with her. Freely.
I have much bound for you.
All right, now we go to Othello.
Please let her get Iago, the pilot, and right here, ready to be prepared. Back down, I will be walking on the word. Prepare them, they will prepare their.
Oh, my good Lord, I'll do it.
This fortification, gentlemen, shall we see it?
Oh, we'll wait upon your lordship. So basically Othello's out of the way, right? He's gone off on some kind of task here. Back to Desdemona.
You know, sure, good Cassio, I will do all my ability to fight the path.
Go with that too. I've already agreed to my husband. As if the cause are his.
Well, the cause is his. Right? Iago did create this whole great big catch. He's like, oh, my husband's so upset. It's almost like he feels responsible for it. Well, he is responsible for it.
Oh, that's an honest fellow. Do not doubt Cassio, but I will help my lord and you again, as friendly as were.
Bounteous Mena, whatever shall become of Michael Cassio, he's never anything but your true servant.
I know it, thank you. You do love my lord. You have known him long, and you well assured shall in strangeness and no farther off than in a politic distance.
Aye, but lady, the policy may either last so long, or fed up, or feed upon such nice and watery diet, or breed itself so out of circumstances that I being absent in my place supplied, my general will forget my love and service.
Not doubt that. Before Amelia here, I give thee warrant of thy hopes. Assuredly, if I do vow of friendship, I'll perform it to the last art. My lord shall never rest. I'll watch him tame and talk him out of patience. His bed shall seem a school, board of shrift. I'll intermingle everything he does with Cassio's suit. Therefore be merry, Cassio. For thy solicitor shall rather die than give thy cause away.
All right, so she assures him, I'm not gonna let it go. I'm gonna constantly remind him, kind of nag him about, you really should reconsider and let Michael Cassio back into your good graces. all that's gonna do is make him think that she's into Michael Cassio. Like, why are you so adamant that I restore his job or his reputation? You must have some kind of personal interest in Michael Cassio. And Cassio has said, I'm worried that the longer I'm out of his good graces, the less likely I am to get back into them, because he's gonna move on, he's gonna replace me, he's not gonna need me anymore. And she's like, oh, no, I'm gonna constantly remind him about you, which is only going to feed into Othello's jealousy about Michael Cassio. The more she does it, the more he's gonna think there's something going on between the two. All right, here comes Othello.
And then becomes our Lord.
But I'll take my leave.
Why stay? Let me speak.
Madam, not now. I am very ill at ease, unfit for my own purpose.
Well, do your discretion.
I like that. I like not that.
Sir Othello.
I do believe.
Nope, like 35. What's that say?
What those?
Dust, I'll say.
Nothing, my lord, or if, I know not what.
Was not that Cassio parted from my life?
Cassio, my lord. Oh, sure, I can't think it. That would steal away so guilty, like seeing you're coming.
Right, so he's so passive aggressive, like, oh no, that wasn't Cassio. He wouldn't have just like sneaked away all guilty when he saw you coming. Well, Othello probably wouldn't have thought that Cassio had anything to feel guilty about. That's just Iago putting that idea into his head, right?
I do believe was.
How now, my lord? I have been talking with,
Suitor.
oh, a suitor here, a man that languishes in your displeasure.
All right, so the word suitor is a very interesting word choice. Okay, suitor could mean I have something that I want to ask for, like a lawsuit, right? I've got a request of some sort. But the other meaning of suitor that we're probably more familiar with is somebody who's romantically pursuing somebody, right? And so she calls Michael Cassio a suitor. And if Othello has any thought to be worried about Michael Cassio, that is the wrong word choice that she should use right now, right? Yes, he's got a pursuit. He wants to get back into Othello's good graces, but Othello, if he's any kind of being jealous, might think that Michael Cassio is actually into Desdemona.
Who is to me?
Why, your lieutenant, Cassio, good my lord. If I have any grace or power to move you, this present reconciliation. For if he be not one that truly loves you, that errs ignorance and not kind, I have no judgment in an odd space. I prithee call him back.
What if he heads down?
Yes, faith, so humble, that he hath left part of his grief with me, to suffer with him. Good love, call him back.
Not now, he says some other time.
But shall be shortly,
The sooner it's sweet for you.
shall be tonight at supper,
No, not tonight.
tomorrow dinner then?
She is very pushy, right? When are you gonna call Michael Cassio in and forgive him?
I shall not hide at home. I need to captain at the
Citadel?
citadel.
Why then tomorrow night, or Tuesday morn, on Tuesday noon or night, on Wednesday morn, I prithee name the time, but let it not exceed 3 days.
All right, she is ultimate pushy.
In faith, he's
Penitence, that means he's sorry.
penitent, and yet it's trespassed in our common reason. Save that they say the Lord must make example out of the best. It's not almost a fault to incur a private check. When shall he come? Tell me, Othello, I wonder in my soul, what you would ask me that I should deny, or stand so clamoring on what? Michael Cassio, that came a wooing with you, and so many a time when I have spoken of you dispraisingly. Have taken your part to have so much to do to bring him in.
Fire lady.
Fire lady, I could do much.
Okay, so this reference to him having come a wooing with you. Othello, we know, came a wooing for Desdemona, meaning that he was interested in her. And apparently it was kind of a thing during that time that because there was nothing going on, physically, romantically with anybody before they confessed that they were in love and they were to get married, you could have multiple suitors showing up and interested in you. And then it was supposed to be that you just gave up once they picked one and got married to that person. So it's very possible that Michael Cassio was also interested in Desdemona. This reference to him coming a wooing with you could mean that Michael Cassio was just the wingman and supporting Othello, but it also could mean that Michael Cassio was actually interested in Desdemona. The point is, we don't know, and maybe Othello doesn't know either, right? That could be planting a seed in his head, like, wait a minute, you're right, he did come with me. Maybe he was interested in you too, right?
Really no more. Let him come when he will. I will deny these ones.
Why, this is not a boon. It is as I should entreat you to wear your gloves, or feed on nourished dishes, or keep warm, or sue to you to do a peculiar profit to your own husband. Nay, when I have a suit wherein I much your love into, it shall be full of toys and difficult ways, and fearful to be granted.
I will deny thee nothing. Whereon I do deceive. Grant me this. So leave me but a little to myself.
Shall I deny you? No. Farewell, my lord.
Farewell, my Desdemona. I'll come to thee straight.
Amelia, come. Be as your fancies teach you. Whatever you be, I am obedient.
Excellent rest. Here did you catch my soul. But I do love thee, and when I love thee not, chaos has come again.
All right, so a little bit of foreshadowing. Okay, I was so in love with her that if there's a point where he doesn't love her, it's gonna be complete chaos in the world. Okay? Iago?
My noble lord,
What dost thou say, Iago?
did Michael Cassio, when you wooed my lady, no longer love?
He did from first to last. Why dost thou ask?
But for satisfaction of my thought, no further.
Why did I thought, Iago?
I did not think he had been acquainted with her.
Oh, yes, and learned between us very often.
Indeed,
Indeed, discernst thou aught in thou. Is he not honest?
honest, my lord,
Honest, honest.
my lord, for aught I know,
What dost thou think?
my lord,
Think, my lord?
I don't know. You still read that part.
Oh, think, my lord, my lord. Thou echoest, as if there were some monster in my thoughts, too hideous to be shown. Thou dost me some. I heard thee say even now. Thou likest not that. When Cassio left my wife, what didst thou like? And when I told thee he was of my counsel, in my whole course of wooing, thou saidst, indeed, in this contrast, the first thy brow together, as if thou then had shut up in thy brain. Somewhat horrible conceit. If thou dost love me, show in thy thought.
my lord, you know I love
I think thou dost, and for I know that full of love and honesty, and waits thy words before thou givest them back. Therefore these thoughts of thine, right? Pardon me no more. For such things in a false and soiled name are tricks of conscience. But in a man, that's just their close dilation, working from the heart. Not passion cannot rule.
For Michael Cassio, I dare be sworn I think that he's honest.
I think so too.
Men should not be what they see, or those that do not, what they might would not.
Men, well, ironically, he says men should be what they seem. He seems to be honest. He is absolutely not, right? And he's totally lured Othello into this trap. Othello thinks that he's the one putting all the pieces together, and really, it's just Iago's trap for him. Like, really, he was your wingman. He went back and forth between you and Desdemona the whole time you were courting her, right? And Othello's like, yeah, why are you suspicious of that? Well, he's about to tell him why. Well, he wants Othello to figure it out and think that he made some kind of discovery without Iago having to tell him.
Certain, men should be what they see.
Why then, I think Cassio is honest.
Nay, yet there's more in this. I really speak to me as to thy thinking. As thou dost ruminate and give thy words of thought the words to work.
Good my Lord, pardon. Though I am bound to act every act of duty, I am not bound to that all slaves are free. Utter my thoughts, who I say they are vile and false, as where's the palace wherein to foul things that have been true not. Who has that breast so pure, but some uncomely apprehension hates and law days, such as silly meditation law.
Thou dost conspire against thy friend Yahweh. If thou but thinkst him wrong, then make his ear a stranger to thy thought.
I do beseech you, though I perchance am vicious in my guests, as I confess it is my native life to spy and to deceive off my jealous shapes faults that are not. That your wisdom, then, from one that so imperfectly detects, would take no notice or build yourself a problem. Out of this scattering and untrue observance, it were not for your quiet nor your good, nor my manhood, honesty, and wisdom, but even mine.
Right, so it would be manly of me to tell you my thought. He's basically wanting him to beg it out of him. To make it seem like Iago is this, super loyal, honest person who would never smack talk anybody if they didn't really deserve it, right?
Now, what does thou mean?
Good name in man and woman, dear my lord, is the immediate jewel of their souls. Who steals my purse, steals trash. Is something, nothing. Was mine, 'tis his, and has been slave without. But he that filches from my good name, robs me of that which not riches, makes for it.
By heaven, I'll know thy thoughts.
Cannot, if my heart were in your hands, or shall not, I was tis in my justice.
Huh?
Oh, beware, my lord, of jealousy. It is the green-eyed monster which shall mock the meek. That couple lives in bliss, but oh, what damned in it, oh, sirs. Who, certain of his fate, loves not his wrong, but oh, what damned in it tells you what to go to get that.
Oh, misery.
All right, so we gotta back up just a little bit here. So Othello, beware, my lord, of jealousy. Watch out, don't get jealous. Totally planting that idea in his head by telling him not to be jealous. Othello realizes suddenly that that is an option and that maybe he should be jealous, right? It's the green-eyed monster which doth mock the meat it feeds on. The cuckold lives in bliss. The cuckold is somebody whose husband, let's put the computer away, please, okay? The cuckold is a husband whose wife has cheated on him, right? The cuckold lives in bliss, who's certain of his fate, loves not his wronger, but oh, what damned minutes tells it he over, who dotes yet doubts, suspects yet strongly loves. Okay, so he's warning him, don't fall into the jealousy trap. At the same time, he's totally setting the jealousy trap for him to fall into. Othello, did you do your own misery?
Yeah.
Okay, Iago.
Poor and content is rich, rich enough. So riches find this poor. Him that ever fears he shall be poor, good God, was sold of all my titles.
Why? Why is this? Think thou I'll make a life of jealousy. To follow still the changes of precious things. No, we once in doubt is once free resolved. Exchange me for a ghost. When I shall return the business of my soul to such exculpate the Lord, then my magic nine did not make me jealous, to say my wife is fair. These well loved company, and free of things, plays and dance of love. Where virtue is, there are more virtues. Not from mine own weak hands will I draw this volunteer for God approvable. Which he had eyes that chose me. No, Iago, I'll see before I doubt, and I doubt. Even on the food, there is no more but this. The way I want with love or jealous.
All right, so he seems pretty solid that he has nothing to worry about. There's nothing to be jealous of. She had eyes and she chose me. No, Iago, I'll see before I doubt. When I doubt, prove. There's no way I'm gonna doubt my wife because I know that she chose me and I'm never gonna believe anything without any kind of proof. I don't have to worry about that. She's loyal. There's nothing to worry about. Iago?
I am glad of this, for now I shall have reason to show the love and duty that I bear you with frankness. Therefore, as I am bound, receive it from me. I speak not yet of food. Look to your wife, observe her well of past. Wear your eyes thus, not jealous nor secure. I would have not your free and noble picture out of self look to it. I know our country disposition. But then it's they do let God see the crimes. They dare not show their husbands.
Conscience.
It is not to leave on God, but
All right, so he definitely plants the seed. Look to your wife, observe her well with Cassio. Right? So I don't have any proof, but keep an eye on your wife and Cassio.
Does thou say so?
she did deceive her father, marrying you, and when she seemed to shake and fear your looks, she loved them.
Right? So she was totally into you when she seemed like it was kind of dangerous to possibly have that connection. And she did deceive her dad, so she kind of likes danger and she's kind of sneaky. So maybe you need to worry about your wife.
And so she did.
Why go to spend? That she is so young to give out such a scene, to steal her father's eyes up, close his eyes. He thought it was witchcraft, but I am much, I only to beseech you. Beseech him your pardon for too much love.
I'm bound to leave for others.
I see this half little dash your spirits.
Not a jot, not a jot.
I feel faith, I fear it. I hope that you'll consider what is spoken comes from my lips. But I do see you are moved. I am afraid you are not to strain my speech. The grosser is larger.
I will not.
Should you do so, my lord, my speech should fall into such mild success, which my thought is. As you as my worthy lord, I see.
No, not much move. I do not think that the gentleman is on.
Long live you so, and long live you think you so.
And yet, how nature erring for itself.
Aye, there is a point as to full which should not affect many proposed matches of her own mind. Whereto we see in all things nature. For one may smell in such a will most frank, foul disproportion, thoughts of them. But, pardon me, I do not in position to distinctly speak of her, though I may fear for the recoiling for better judgment, may fall to them.
Farewell, farewell. If more thou didst proceed, loving her nose. Set on thy wife who should leave me, Iago.
Right? So if you notice anything else, let me know. And also, why don't you have your wife kind of spy on her too? So this is the first inkling that maybe Othello is starting to become suspicious. All right, Iago?
My lord, I think
Why did I marry this honest creature doubted? Caesar knows more, much more than you're told.
All right, so it didn't take long. Why the heck did I get married? Right? He's been married for what, 2 days? Well, no, I guess it's a little longer, the trip, the voyage in between, but he's only been with his wife for a total of the wedding night and now this one day here on the island. And already he's saying, why the heck did I ever get married? Because clearly Iago knows more than he is telling, more than he unfolds. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. All right. So, Iago?
my lord. My lord, I would I might entreat your honor to stand this thing no farther. Although to spit when Cassio at his place, for sure he goes up greater good. And if you please to hold him on, you shall by that. Know if your lady's strain is interested, if any stronger be
Importunity. So notice if your lady, Desdemona, if she's kind of like, really kind of pushy about him in any kind of way, which we know she's going to be because he's set the whole thing up, right? Okay, keep going. If she's any strong or vehement importunity,
much will be seen in that.
right? So you're really gonna know, that's gonna be a telltale sign if she's super pushy about Michael Cassio.
In the meantime, let me be thought too busy in my affairs. As worthy cause I have feared, as worthy cause I have to fear my name. And hold it free, I do beseech you.
Fear not my government.
I once sworn to.
This vow to the succeeding honesty, those all qualities, and rich spirit of human being. Prejudice, truth, or haggard. Those that are justice were my dear heartstone. I whistled it off, and let her down the wind, to pray at forth. Happily, for I am lost, and have not so soft in conversation. That chamber is a path, but for I have lived mine civility, yet that's not love. She's gone, I am abused, and my relief below it. Oh, curse of man. Now we can all these delicate creatures are not the apple.
Right, so that's the curse of marriage. I can call her my wife, right? She's mine, but I can't call her appetite mine, meaning she's moved on. She wants other things. She wants other men. So that's the curse of marriage. I'm saddled with her. I'm stuck with her, but she seems to have moved on and wants somebody else.
I had rather be a toad and live upon the vapor of his bed than keep acquiring the thing I love to others. It's the plague of gratefulness. Prerogatives, are they less than the base? Is that destiny unshunnable like that? Even then, this one plague is faded blood. When we do look where she comes. Oh, if she defaults, oh then, having marked itself, I'll not believe.
How now, my dear fellow, your dinner and the generous islanders find you invited to attend your presence.
I have to blame.
Why do you speak so faint? Are you not well?
I have a pain upon my forehead.
Faith, that's with launching. Will away again. Let me but bind it hard within the tower, or will it be well?
Your napkin is too little.
Okay, so this is a significant detail. Shakespeare very rarely puts any stage directions in, but this is important to the plot. So he puts the handkerchief from him, meaning he pushes it away, and it drops. So he's got a headache. She's like, let me bind it, like cartoon style, where you tie a bandage around your head to make the head stop throbbing, right? But he says, no, it's too little. It's not gonna make its way around my head. So he pushes it away and it drops. Okay?
Let it alone. I'll go to it.
I am very sorry that you are not well.
Right, so she seems very fixated on helping him, doesn't necessarily notice that she dropped her handkerchief. All right, now Amelia all alone.
I'm glad I found this time. This is her first remembrance from the morrow. My wayward husband had up to times to steal her, but she so loves the token. For he conjured her, she should have her keep it. That she reserves it evermore about her to kiss and talk to. I'll have the word taken out and give it to Yahweh. What he will do with it, heaven knows. I have nothing but to be sins.
All right, so this is a really significant detail. Apparently, Iago has noticed that Amelia always has this thing. He knows that it's from Othello and that it's super special. It's kind of like, his letter jacket that he gave her to wear kind of thing. So it's super sentimental. It's from Othello, and he's been begging his wife to try to snitch it from her, to steal it, right? And so finally, here it is. She's got her opportunity. She grabs it. She's like, I'll give this to my husband. He's begged me to steal it. Now I have it. We'll have the work taken out, which means like the needle point, we'll pull that all out and have it redone in some kind of way. It's clear that she doesn't really know why he wants it, because she says what he will do with it, heaven knows, not I. Right? She's only doing this to please him. She doesn't know anything about any greater plot, which is pretty significant, actually. Huh? They're a team, but she's just following blindly. She doesn't know the bigger plot. You good? Is
Yeah.
it a tick?
Yeah, but she said it like just got on. We were well. So let's do like somewhere in the English.
Oh,
You're scaring me.
or maybe in your first plot. Maybe it was in the
Yeah,
first
that's
plot.
Let's finish that.
Right, let's go
I'm
with
not
that.
sitting over this one.
Okay,
Okay.
all right. You weren't outside for slot, were you?
What she said, it's like, I was talking about, but she said it's like wooden.
Yeah,
area and
right.
stuff. So I don't.
It was a traveling tip.
Okay. All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So, Amelia's got the handkerchief. She's planning to give it to Yago. She doesn't know what Yago's gonna do with it. Here comes Yago.
How now? What do you feel?
You're not shy, I see.
But it is a common thing.
Not that kind of thing. Didn't mean that at the time. I have a something for you, not a thing for you. They're married, they should have a thing, but he is kind of mean to her.
It is a common thing.
Ah.
To have a foolish wife.
What would you give me now for that same handkerchief?
What handkerchief?
What handkerchief? Why the more first gave me testimony, that which is so often you bid me to steal.
I stole it.
No face, should I drop my negligence? And to the advantage I being here, so look, here it is.
A good wench. Give it to me.
He's not very nice, darling.
What will you do with it, that you have been so earnest? To me, have relationship.
To have me filch it, right? Why have you been begging you to steal it, right? What are you gonna do with it?
Why, what is that?
If it not be for some purpose to enforce, give it to me then. Poor lady shall run mad when she shall lack it.
I be not a known one. I have use for it. Go.
All right, so Amelia leaves. She's an obedient wife. He's not very nice to her, but he is very happy to have this thing. All right, now we find the plan. Go ahead.
I will, in Cassio's logic, lose the step, and let him find it. Trifles light as air are to the jealous contemplation strong as proofs of belief. This may do something, but we're already changes with my. Dangerous seats are in their natures, which at first are scarce found in the state, but with a little act on the burn like the vine.
All right, so the plan is to plant it somewhere in Cassio's room to make it look like Desdemona gave it to him. And he says you don't really need solid evidence when somebody's jealous, because this is gonna be like a holy writ, like a sacred text. He's gonna believe it and take it to heart because he's already jealous and he's already looking to believe that she's cheating on him.
You have a lot of free time.
Yago? Well,
I did say,
he's very manipulative. All right, here comes Othello.
I did say so. Look which, copy or read and Gregora, nor all the drowsy serfs of the world shall ever miss that sweet sleep which thou hast.
All three.
Why, how now, General? No more. That's
Avaunt, you know, thou hast set me on the rack. I swear it is better to be much of you than but to know a little.
Right? So it would have been better to just be completely ignorant of this, because then he could sleep. That reference to not being able to sleep up there, again, that Shakespeare always resorts to when your life is a total suck fest because you can't sleep, and you can't sleep because it's something really terrible, or you have a terrible thought in your head. So Othello apparently can't sleep anymore. So he's not going to be making the best decisions, not going to be necessarily thinking straight. And he says it would have been better for me to just not even know this. I swear it is better to be much accused than but to know a little. It's better for her to be sleeping around and I didn't know about it, because at least then I was ignorant and happy. Yago?
how now, my lord?
What sense had I in the first moment I was of what? I thought not, no. I thought no, not.
Right? I didn't know it. I didn't know she was sleeping around.
And hung down me. I slept the next night well, very well, was free and merry. I found not Cassio's kisses on her lips. See, that is robbed, not wanting what is stolen, but I know not. And he's not robbed at all.
Right? So I wasn't really robbed if I didn't know about it. I still had everything was the same in my life, but now that I know about it, everything's messed up.
I'm sorry to hear this.
I've been happy if the general campaign and all have tasted her body. So I had nothing no.
Right? I would be fine, even if every man on the ship had tasted her sweet body, if I just didn't know about it, right? Which I don't really think is probably true. I think probably that still would bother him. But he's saying at least in his own mind, he was in a better shape than he is now.
Oh no, forever farewell, the cheerful mind, farewell, content, farewell, the and the big war. That big And we should bring, also farewell, the day chief is still come. The spirit is very young. The dear peace and fight of the royal banner in all quality, pride and calm, and certificate of glorious war. And oh, you moral engines, whose brute throat, the immortal Jones dread clamorous counterfeit. Farewell. Othello's occupation is gone.
Is it possible, my lord?
Villain, be sure thou prove my love a whore.
Wow, right? It's quite a turn. Make sure you prove that she's a whore. Not, what happened to the whole she picked me, so there's no way I'm ever gonna believe it, and I'll never believe anything without proof. Now he's like, prove it. Prove to me she's a whore. I demand you prove it.
Be sure of it. Give me the ocular proof, for by the words of mine internal soul. Thou hast written better than been born a dog than answer my walk of wrath.
I waked wrath. You woke up the wrath inside of me, so you better bring me some proof. Ocular proof means I want to see it with my own eyes.
To come to this,
Make me to see it, for at the least so prove it, that the probation bear no hate or leave, and hate a doubt on, or woe upon thy.
Right? Prove it or I'll kill you, basically. And it's not like prove it or I'll kill you because I'm defending her honor, right? Don't say that or I'll kill you. It's prove it because I want to know for sure it's happening, and you better deliver that proof. Like, he wouldn't be happy with evidence that she wasn't cheating. You get the sense that he wants the evidence that she is cheating because he believes that she is.
my noble lord,
If thou dost slander her and torture me, never pray more, than in all our most, on horrors and horrors I accuse her. Do deeds to make heaven weep, all earth remains, for nothing can thou do damnation as greater than that.
oh grace, so heaven forgive. Are you a man? Have you a soul or sense? God, by you take mine office, O wretched fool that loves to make thine honesty a vice. O monstrous world, take note, O world, to be direct and honest is not sin. I thank you for this profit, and from hence I'll love no friend, since love breeds such offense.
Nay, stay, thou should be honest.
I should be wise, for honesty is a fool and loses that it works.
For the world, I think my wife be honest, and think she is not. I think that thou art just, think thou art not. I have some proof. Her name that was a precious young star, is now be grim and black as my own little face. If there be cords or knife, poison or fire, or something, I'll not endure it. Where I will satisfy.
I see, sir, you are eaten up with passion. I do repent me that I put it to you. Would you be satisfied?
Would, yeah, and I will.
And may, but how? How satisfied, my lord? With you, the supervisor, grossly gave up. The whole father.
So what do you want? You want to actually see her physically having sex, right? Because that's what he's saying. You want to grossly gape on, you want to watch and behold her tops with a man on top of her. Like, how am I supposed to do that? Right? How am I supposed to prove this? Kind of a tall order without video, right? Right? That's for sure what he's saying, right? Behold her tops.
That and then, oh.
If it were tedious difficulty, I think, to bring them to that process.
Right? It's kind of hard to bring them to that process, to make them do that on command or catch them in the act.
Damn them. If ever mortal eyes do see them also more than ever. What then? How then? What shall I say? Where is satisfaction? It is impossible you should see this, where they as prime as goats, hot as monkeys, and salt as fools.
Right? So they're not like hot monkeys doing it in the street. Like, how are we gonna do this? How are we supposed to prove this?
And fools as gross as ignorance. But yet I say, impunation with strong circumstances which lead directly to the door of trust will lead you to satisfaction. On account.
Give me a living reason to keep this order.
I do not like the office, but since I am entered into this cause so far, affected to it by foolishness, I will go on. I lay with Cassio lately, being troubled with a raging tooth, I cannot. There are kind of elusive souls that in their sleeps will mutter their affairs. One of this kind is Cassio. In sleep I hear say, sweet death Divine, let us be buried, let us hide our loves. And then, sir, with a bright but bring my oh sweet creature. And kissed me hard. I did he plucked up kisses by the roots that grew up upon my lips. Then laid his leg over my thigh, and sighed and kissed and then cried. Cursed fate that gave me the
Well, it's a pretty fortunate little experience that he had there, right? He slept in Cassio's room and, right? He
Did you
said,
make that up or was that actually?
oh, this is totally made up, right? Okay, right? I lay with Cassio lately, okay? Meaning, like, recently, I had to share a room with him, share quarters with him, right? And being troubled with a raging tooth. Apparently Iago had a toothache, so he couldn't sleep, right? He said, there are a kind of men so loose of soul that in their sleep will mutter their affairs. Some people will talk in their sleep. When they're troubled in their mind, sometimes they babble and say things in their sleep that they really shouldn't say. Kind of like Lady Macbeth, right? The whole sleepwalking and trying to bluff. Right? Okay, and so this is what he heard him say. Sweet Desdemona, let us be wary. We gotta be careful, right? Let us hide our loves. And then, sir, would he gripe and wring my hand and cry, "Oh, sweet creature, then kiss me hard." Yes, that part happened in the bed, apparently, with Cassio and, well, it didn't happen, but Iago wants Othello to believe that it did happen. He kissed him hard, right? Then he laid his leg on my thigh and he sighed and he kissed and then he cried, "Cursed fate that gave thee to the Moor." Well, it's a pretty telling dream. Right? Doesn't leave a lot to the imagination. But if Othello needs proof that his wife is cheating, this is about as close as it could possibly get if he truly does believe Iago. Why else would Cassio be having a dream like that? Right?
Oh, monstrous, monstrous.
nay, this was but his
But this denoted,
But this denoted a foregone conclusion.
right? But this is evidence. This is proof, right? You don't have dreams like that unless you're actually guilty and having an affair.
the shrewd doubt, though it be but a dream. And this may help to thicken other proofs that do demonstrate it.
I'll tear her all to pieces.
Nay, yet be wise, yet was nothing done. She may be honest yet. Tell me then but this, have you not sometimes been anchored to a pot of strawberries?
I gave her such a one, just my first gift.
I know that not, but such a handkerchief, as I'm sure it was your wives, did I today, Cassio like spirit.
Ah, right? The same handkerchief that got his wife to steal. Now he says, "I'm pretty sure I saw Cassio just wiping his beard with that beautiful little strawberry handkerchief that you gave her." Okay?
It should be that.
If it be that, or any that was hers, speaks against her.
Oh, that our slaves had 40,000 lives, was too poor, too weak for my revenge. Now do I see this true? Look here, Iago, all my fond love thus do I blow to heaven. 'Tis gone. Arise, black vengeance from the hollow hell.
Right? He is ready for revenge. He is 100% convinced that this is evidence, and he wishes Michael Cassio had more than one life because he wants to take more than one of them.
Yield up, oh love, thy crown and hearted throat, tyrant take. Well, blossom, with thy brought for kiss of aspic tongue. Oh, blood.
Patience, I say, your mind perhaps may change.
Never, Iago, like to the Pontic sea, whose icy current, pulses foot, never feels retiring, but keeps you to the procontonic in the Hellespont. Even so my bloody thoughts with violent taste shall never look back, and never the humble love, so that capable and wider than swallow them up.
All right, so he's never going to settle down until he gets his revenge.
Now by yon marble heaven, in the due reverence of the sacred vow, I here engage my word.
Do not rise yet. Witness, you ever burning lights above. Elements that flip us roundabout. Witness that here Yaga would not give up. Execution of his quick hands hard. The wrong Othello sins. Let him command, and to obey shall he revolts. What a bloody business.
Right, so they basically are making a solemn vow here. Othello wants revenge, and Iago makes a vow that he's gonna help him get it. Okay?
I greet thy love, now with vain thanks for acceptance found peace. We will upon the instant proceed swift. Within these 3 days of me here we say, and Cassio is not alive.
Right, so death sentence to Cassio, and Iago, you gotta go do it. Go kill him in 3 days.
My friend is dead. 'Tis done at your request, but let her live.
Damn her, lose makes, oh, damn her, damn her.
Yeah, nope, not gonna spare Desdemona.
Come go with me apart. I will withdraw to furnish me with some swift means of death for the fair devil. Now art thou my lieutenant.
So he finally got a job promotion that he stole from Michael Cassio. Now Iago is moving up in rank and he's gonna be the lieutenant.
I am your own forever.
Back to Desdemona and the clown.
You know, Sarah, where Lieutenant Castro lies?
I dare not say he lies anywhere.
Right, so again, puns, the clowns always love puns, the pun on lie, like lying down versus telling a lie.
Why, man?
He's a soldier, and for me to say a soldier lies, it's bad.
Go to, where lodges he?
To tell you where he lodges, is to tell you where I lie.
Can anything be made of?
I know not where he lodges, and for me to devise a lodging and say he lies there, or he lies there, or to lie in my own throat.
Can you inquire him out and be edified by report?
I will catechize the world for him, that is, make questions, and by them answer.
Seek him, bid him come hither, tell him I have moved my lord on his behalf, and hope all will be well.
To do this is within the comfort of a man's will, and therefore I will attempt to do it again.
Where should I lose the handkerchief, Amelia?
I know not again.
Believe me, I had rather have lost my purse, full of
Sados, that's their money. So
Sados.
she's recognizing that handkerchief, super important, and she really shouldn't have lost it.
and but my noble Moor is true mind and made of no such baseness as jealous creatures are. It were enough to put him to ill thinking.
Right, she's like, my husband is not jealous at all, but this might make him think ill of me to have lost the handkerchief. She's not really worried about the jealousy thing, which maybe she should be, but he might think poorly of me because I lost. She's not jealous.
Who he, I think, the son where he was born, through all such humors from him.
Great months.
I will not leave him now till Cassio recall him. How is you, my lord?
Well, my good lady. All hardness to the summer. How do you do? How do you, said the mama.
Well, my good lord,
Give me your hand. This hand is moist, my lady.
it yet hath felt no age, nor known to no sorrow.
This argued fruitfulness and liberal heart. Hot and warm. The man of yours required to sequester from liberty. Fasting and prayer, once castigation, exercise devour, devout, were here's a young sweating devil here that commonly rebel. Is a good hand, I'll bring.
You may indeed say so, for it was that hand that gave away my heart.
A liberal hand. The hearts of old give hand, but our new heraldry is hand, not heart.
I cannot speak of this. Come now, you promise.
What promise, Chuck?
Right, so his language has changed towards her too. Chuck kind of means whore, right? That's not the way you're supposed to be talking to your new bride.
I have sent to bid Cassio come speak with you.
I have a salt and sorry from the
Room, that's like an illness.
room offends me. Lend me thy hand, take the hand,
Right, so I've got kind of a runny nose. How about that handkerchief? Why don't you give me your handkerchief?
Here, my lord,
that which I gave you.
I have it not about me.
Not,
No faith, my lord.
that's a fault. That handkerchief did a conviction to my mother again. She was determined to complete the constitution. he told her while she kept it. It would make her amiable, subdue my father entirely to her love. But if
Right,
she
so
lost
it's almost like a love potion kind of handkerchief, which really, when you think about it, that's what Dad accused him of to begin with, using witchcraft on her to get her to fall in love with him. And now it turns out he did give her, the very first gift he gave her was a handkerchief that apparently had some kind of spell put on it to make the person fall in love.
But if she lost it or made a gift of it, my father's eyes should hold her low, and his spirits should hunt about after he did. He died and gave it to me and bid me when my fair would have me what to give it to him. I did so, and thank you, darling. Make it a darling with a special God. To lose it or give it away with such tradition.
Is it possible? Oh, now she's really, really terrible. This wasn't just a run-of-the-mill handkerchief he gave her. This is like an heirloom from his dad that's got a love potion built into it.
Tis true, there's magic in the weather of it. Sidewalls that had numbered in the world, the sun, the force, two compasses. Their prophetic fury sued the work. The worms were hollow, that did read the silk, and it was dyed in harmony with silver conserved of maiden sparks.
Hey, is it true?
Most veritable, therefore look to it well.
Then would to God that I ever seen.
Yeah, she's wishing that he had never even given it to her, because now she really feels terrible for losing it.
Ah, wherefore?
Why do you speak so startlingly rash?
Is it lost? Is it gone? Is it out of the way?
Heaven bless us.
Say you?
It is not lost, but what and if it were?
How?
I say it is not lost.
Practice, let me see it.
Why, so I can, sir, but I will not now. This is a trick to put me in my suit. Pray you let pass over your seat again.
Fetch me the handkerchief. My mind is it.
Come. You'll never see a more sufficient man.
The handkerchief.
I pray, talk to me of Cassio.
Which is really the wrong thing she should be changing the subject to now, right? Right? Let's talk about Cassio instead of the handkerchief.
The handkerchief.
A man that all his time has founded his good fortune on your love, shared dangers with
The handkerchief.
and taken you are to blame.
Now,
Amelia?
is this man jealous?
Right? It's not this man jealous. He's like, you said he wasn't a jealous man.
Sorry.
This is looking like a jealous man.
I never saw this before. Sure, there's some wonder in this handkerchief. I am most unhappy in the loss of it.
Tis not a year or two shows up the man. They are all but stomachs, and you're all but food. They eat us hungrily, and when they are full, they belch us.
Right. So Amelia, who's been married a little bit longer, has a little bit more pessimistic view on marriage. They have us, they eat us, they take us for what they want, and then they throw us up. They don't need us anymore. Right? So apparently the honeymoon is over, according to Amelia. Here come Iago and Cassio. So you, Amelia.
Look you, Cassio, my husband.
There is no other way. She must do it below the hat. Throw it in our pursuit.
Yeah, go beg her.
How now, good Cassio, what's the news with you?
Madame, my former suit, I do beseech you that by your virtuous means I may again exist, and be a member of his love, whom I, with all the office of my heart, entirely honor. I would not be delayed if my offense be of such mortal kind, that nor my service past, nor present sorrow, nor purpose merit in futurity can ransom me into his love again. But to know so must be my benefit. So shall I, both me in a forced attempt, and shut myself up in some other course to fortune's home.
Alas, thrice gentle Cassio, my advocation is not now in truth. My lord is not my lord, nor should I know him. Was he in favor as in humor altered? So help me every spirit sanctified. As I have spoken for you all my best, and stood within the blank of his displeasure for my free speech. You must a while be patient. What I can do I will, and more I will. Then for myself I dare. Let that suffice you.
Right, so not a good time right now. I promise I'll get back to it, but this is definitely not a good time. to ask Othello for anything.
Is my lord angry?
We went hence but now, certainly in strange and blackness.
Can you be angry? I have seen a cannon with a half blown its ranks. Like the devil, this very honor on his own throne. Is he angry? Something of the moment. I will go eat. There is matter in it.
I could do so. Something sure of state, either from Venice or some unhatched practice, made demonstrable here in Cyprus too. Hath huddled his sheer spirit, and in such cases, men's natures wrangle with inferior threats. Though great ones are their object, to even so. For let our finger ache and live into. Our other helpful members even to a sense of pain. Nay, we must think men are not God, nor of them look for such observances. As fits the bridal, beshrew me much, Amelia, I was unhandsome warrior as I am, arranging his unkindness with my soul. But now I find I had suborned the witness, and he's indicated falsehood.
Indicted false.
Pray heaven in these state matters, as you think, and to no conception nor jealous toys.
Alas, the day I never gave thoughts.
Jealous souls do not be answered so. They are not ever jealous for the cause, jealous for their jealous. It is a monster begot upon itself, or on itself.
All right, so Amelia said it doesn't matter if you haven't given him reason to be jealous. Jealous people are jealous, and they're gonna find reason to be jealous, and they're just monsters. So too bad for you, your husband's jealous, and you didn't do anything positive.
Heaven keep the monster from Othello's mind.
Lady Edna.
I never see him. Cassio walk your about. If I do find him fit, I'll move your suit and seek to effect it to my uttermost.
I humbly thank your ladyship.
Okay, so now we have a new character coming in, Bianca. We haven't met her before, but she's kind of a love interest of Cassio. Do you want to be Bianca? You got it.
Save you, friend Cassio.
What made you from home? How is it with you, my most fair Bianca? Faith, sweet love, I was coming to your house.
And I was going to your lodging, Cassio. What, keep a week away? 7 days and nights, 8 hours, and lovers' absent hours, more tedious than the dial 8 times. O weary reckoning.
Right, so apparently he has not been paying her enough attention. It's been a whole week since he's come to see her.
Pardon me, Bianca. I have this wild but leaden thoughts been friend, but I shall in more consequent time strike off this store of habits.
All right, and he gives her Desdemona's handkerchief, which apparently he found in his chamber, didn't think anything of it, and recycled, and gives her a gift of the handkerchief.
Take me this workout.
Right, so he brings it to her, found it, said, I want you to be the one to take the strawberries out, right? Take out the needlework on this handkerchief.
O Cassio, whence came this? This is some token from a newer friend. To the felt absence now I feel a cause. Is it come to this? Well, well.
Go to, woman. Throw your little guesses into the devil's teeth. From whence you have none. You are jealous now that this is from some mistress, some remembrance. No, by my faith. No.
Why, whose is it?
I know not neither. I found it in my chamber. I like the work well, ere it be demanded. As like enough it will, I would have it pop. Take it and do it, and leave me for the term.
Leave you, wherefore?
I do attend here on the general, and think it no addition nor my wit, to have him see me woman.
Why, I pray you,
Not that I love you not,
but that you do not love me. I pray you bring me on the way a little, and say if I shall see you soon at night.
'tis but a little way of what I can bring you, for I attend here, but I'll see you soon.
It's very good, I must be circumstanced.
All right, so maybe he's just not all that into her, hard to say for sure, but he gives her the handkerchief and says he's coming back for it. He didn't get it from another woman. It's significant that she now has a hand. So kind of keep that in mind, his, I don't know, side thing that he's got going on, because he's not all that into her, but she wants him to come see her at night, so it sounds like it is definitely some kind of a romantic relationship that they're having. All right, any questions with that? I know that was a lot all at once, but it's better to get through the whole thing, because then we'll wiggle, we'll come back, we'll watch, if there's time, we'll take a quiz.
Can we just take the photo?
You wanna take it before you watch it?
Is there gonna be?
No, we have until 10:59. 10:59, yeah, we have like 25 minutes left.
We should
Is
just
that
take.
enough time to watch and?
I think it's 10:49. So it's 84 minutes.
I copied it from the website, so I think that's right. Oh, that you're right, it doesn't make sense, does it? Could be 49 makes no sense. You're right. You wanna just take a quiz?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, opposed to like taking that. one.
Yeah, I think that's probably right.
Okay.
It's probably not up to that.
And then a mini would go.
And then a mini wiggle. A mini.
Go before. Get my.